Hello friends, Misty here with Queen Bee's Vintage. Welcome to or welcome back to our channel. I hope everyone is doing well. For today's project, we are going to be doing an Easter dress form. I'm going to be using this vintage wicker dress form that I have here in my entryway, and I am going to be decorating it with some deco mesh, some ribbons, some faux eggs, some Easter floral stems, and whatever else I think it might need as we move along. So I really hope you will stick with me and that you guys will enjoy the video. And with that being said, let's get into the video. All right, so to start, scratch the pipe cleaner. We are going to be using some of this floral wire. This is a 26 gauge. And I tried to do the pipe cleaner, and you have to run it through the little wicker bands here, and it was too thick. So I've got one in place here on the front. I will give you guys a close-up, and I just gauged the wire to be about as long as a pipe cleaner, so I don't have an exact measurement for you on that. So what I think I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to do two in the center on the front, one here right along the waist, and then one down a little bit lower. I'll do a couple on the sides, a couple on the back, and then I should have enough wire in there for the placement of my deco mesh. So let me take this off the tripod and just give you a close-up of how the wire looks. I'm having to use these little needle nose pliers. Once I get it up and around the little wicker band, I gently have to use these to pull the wire through. And again, this is a vintage piece, so I want to be very careful that I don't break any of the wicker on it. So it's going to take some patience to get this done. I'll do it in fast mode. I'll probably do some of it off camera as well. So this is how the floral wire looks placed. And as I said, I am going to just go around the dress form, placing the wire where I think I'm going to need it for the application of the deco mesh. Once I get all the wire placed on the dress form, I will come back and show you that before we start with the deco mesh. Okay, I have my wire placed around the mannequin, but there are some areas, especially up in here along the waist, where the weave is super tight and I can't get the wire through it. So I have a solution. I'm going to put you back on the tripod and show you that. I'm going to take this piece of gold tooling that I took off of her, and I'm going to take it around her waist. Where I was able to put the wire through the wicker, I'm just going to open that up and take the tooling through that so that there's wire wrapping around the tooling. And with doing this, I will be able to take and run the wire up under the tooling, or even a pipe cleaner, which I'm sure is what I'll end up using. And that way I will have wire placed all the way around her. So I'm just going to tie this off in the back. I'm going to leave the tails just in case I decide I need them for some reason as I move along here. So this is the side of her waist where I couldn't get the wire through, as well as in the back. So I am just going to take some pipe cleaner and run it up underneath the tooling. And I'm going to put one here on the back. Okay, let me grab the deco mesh and we will start putting it on her. This is the deco mesh I'm going to be using. It was from Hobby Lobby in their Easter craft section. I showed this in the haul video I did about a month ago. So I think I'm going to start at the back here. I'm just going to let my deco mesh fall to the ground. I've got this, and I'm just going to take and gather it like that. Gonna put it in between my two pieces of pipe cleaner and give this a snug twist. And then I'm just going to go in about maybe 12 to 14 inch increments, and I'm just going to gather and take it into, I've got pipe cleaner here, and give it a good twist. So it's kind of like creating a deco mesh wreath. And that will cover that raw end that we started with. Now I'm going to take my deco mesh and come around and drop down into this next piece of wire I have down below here. Okay, so now I have the deco mesh placed all the way around her, and I'm going to start with my next step. I'm going to take this tooling that I have left over from the Easter tree I did. I picked this up at Walmart, or I'm sorry, Hobby Lobby. And I think what I'm going to do, probably going to make these about 24 inches long. I'm eyeing it up. We can do 12 inches, so I'm going to cut these in half. And I just want to go in and add some of this near the bottom. I don't have a lot of this left over, so I'm not going to put it throughout the whole tree. But I just want this bottom part to have a little bit of a flowy look to it. So my next step is going to be to take some of the deco mesh. I'm going to cut it in 10-inch lengths, and then I'm going to roll it. So I have something like this, and then I'll pinch it together. And I'm going to be creating sets of 2 of these that I will crisscross. So let me show you that. So I will take 2 and place them together like this so that they kind of create an X. And then I am going to go back in where I've got my pieces of wire, and I'm going to stick these in, bring my wire over, and securely twist it together so that I have something that looks like this. And I didn't go bring in my cutting mat to measure these. I have 12 by 12 tiles, so I'm basically using the floor as my guide to measure these. And then I'm just eyeing up and taking about 2 inches off so that I have the 10-inch pieces. If you're doing this at home and you feel more comfortable with using a cutting mat and a rotary tool or scissors and a ruler, you can do that. But I've created wreaths and things like this for a long time, so I've gotten pretty comfortable at just eyeing things up. So I'm going to continue creating these little pieces here that I crossed together, and I'm going to go through and attach them everywhere I have the wire. All right, so I just had an idea that I need to implement before I continue placing these onto the dress form. I have these egg picks. I picked these up last year at the 99-cent store, and what I want them to do is I want them to kind of come up so that I can have them come up the bodice like this. So what I did, I don't want to cut these down because I use these in picks in the tops of my Easter trees and other floral arrangements. So, oops, I just tore an egg off. I'm going to have to rewire that. But I went ahead and bent the stems up and then just looped the excess wire of the stem around this to secure it. That way I can get it about the length I want it without cutting it down. And I'm just going to go ahead and take my little curly Q X out for a minute. And I'm going to place this in. Okay, adding the pipe cleaner around that band of tooling and bringing it around definitely secured these better. And I want her to have some of these on both sides of the bodice and around to the back. So I'm going to continue going in and placing these. I've got quite a few stems here, so I'm just going to keep creating bundles of 2 and going around. Maybe on the sides I'll do a bundle of 3. Let's see how well it works. I'm just going to take one of the stems and wrap it around the 3. A little bit to secure them. And then what I did is on the other set, is I just looped this up like this and then folded it back down. And then I'm just taking one of the longer pieces and going around that entire thing. So I'm going to come around to the side. I need to go in and add my pipe cleaner, but I'm going to have these pieces come up like this. All right, so now I have all of my picks placed. I may fuss with them and rearrange them as I go, but I want her to look really whimsical and garden-esque. So I really like how these come up and wrap up around her like vines. So I've got my little X placed back here on the front. I'm just going to go around and continue placing sets of these in each area that I have wire secured. I'm going to go all the way around the dress form with this, and then I will come back and we'll be adding some ribbon and making her look really pretty and finished off. All right, I have all of the additional deco mesh placed, so you can see that the skirt is starting to look really full. Now I'm going to go in with some ribbon because the tree in the entryway is so bright and so fun and so busy. I want to keep her kind of in these lighter colors, so I'm going to choose some softer ribbon colors to go in and add the ribbon into the deco mesh. So let me grab my ribbons and we will get those added. All right, so the ribbons I'm going to use are this. I'm going to use up what I have left from Hobby Lobby. Then I have this from Michael's. I've got some of this from the Dollar Tree. And some of this was from Hobby Lobby in their Easter section. I may or may not use this, so I'm going to start cutting some ribbon. I'm going to cut them in 9-inch lengths, and I'll show you how I layer them before I apply them to the deco mesh. So let me get some ribbon cut and I'll come right back. Now that I have my ribbons cut into 9-inch lengths, I have dovetailed the ends. And I decided not to use the other ribbons I had pulled out. I'm just going to use these. And I'm going to take the two pieces and cross them over the top of one another, making an X. And then what I am going to do is go back in where I created the X's or crisscross with the deco mesh. I am going to lay the ribbon over the top. And then I'm going to go ahead and wire it on, giving it a good twist, making sure it's snug. And then I'm going to go back in and fluff my ribbon as needed. And I went ahead and did the rest of the tree already. All right, she is all finished. I went around and cut the excess wire down. And I am loving how she looks. I'm going to get her placed and we will finish this off. I am going to be placing her in front of my chippy peely antique door. And I have a table that goes next to this, and I'll be styling that and you will see it in the home tour. But this is our finished dress form. I'm really happy with how she turned out. I think she's really soft, yet still colorful enough to make her look cheerful and garden-esque. And I feel like I accomplished what I was going for with her. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If so, please consider leaving a thumbs up as well as a comment below. If you like what we are doing here on our channel, please consider hitting the red subscribe button along with the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time we upload a new video. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram. I will leave those links below. And until next time, bye-bye.